Hey guys, this is DFD, aka Dark Frozen Depths, back with a Genshin Impact video this time. Now, like I said in the previous Kamihime project video, I was going to do something on this, just giving my take on the game and whatnot. And this could get a little bit long, but I do have quite a bit to say. Now, like before, some stuff might actually trigger a few people because I had a rant video about Resin, and a lot of that stuff I said in there hasn't changed, in fact, and I am now almost AR 44. So, yeah. But anyways, getting started, here's the thing I gotta say out the gate. Is Genshin a perfect game? Hell no. There is quite a few bugs they had on there, quite a few glitches that there still are floating around, but it's not enough to really just shut down the game entirely. I have heard that some people have gone through some really crazy stuff where they have actually had issues playing the game entirely. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those people, so I don't know how that actually feels. But at the same time, I can kind of see why people get irritated about that. However, they do show proof that they are trying to go through different bugs and whatnot. Like, good cases is Mail right here, where they had some little issue with Fischl and her talent. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, that's the thing. Fischl plays so good that I didn't even notice her talent was bugged. And it happened before with Mona and something else as well. I think Kiching as well. But yeah, they still go through stuff. They still try to fix things and whatnot because of course they want things to run. If people say that miHoYo doesn't care, they're lying. At the same time, I cannot say that miHoYo is going to do everything in the favor of the people because they're a business still. Like, this isn't me trying to white knight them or whatever, because I know a lot of, like, no, I'm not even going to hold back on my language. A lot of fucking Reddit cucks will try to sip and claim you as a white knight, so they can shut the hell up. But, anyways, game's not perfect. miHoYo's at least trying, so give them some credit. This game is still fairly new. It's only been out for, like, what, a month or two? So, there's that. Also, they do try to do some extra stuff as well, even outside of events. Like, this thing right here, I didn't even know they do stuff for the characters' birthdays. Like, I really didn't. And this is kind of interesting. It kind of seems like a little dating something, but, I actually like that. Now, here's another thing, too. This is a big one. People do harp on the monetization, and I get that. But at the same time, some things are worth. Like, this battle pass, very much worth. First off, 3/4 of the possible rewards are behind a paywall, which isn't even that big of a paywall. It's like, what, $5-10? But you get so much stuff, including these little battle pass weapons too. It's worth. It's worth. This is definitely one of the better, quote-unquote, monetization things, because it will greatly help you out, especially the higher you go. I got into level 50 the last time, so I managed to get everything on that one. Now, even if you don't pay any money, you still get these things up top, and that's still pretty freaking generous, which is entirely free. So, there's that. But I will say that when it comes to the shop, some of this stuff seems like a scam. Like, this isn't bad. This is not bad. Get this. Get this. Like, it is cheap and it'll give you a lot of primos. Now, some of this stuff I wouldn't even worry about. As tempting as they may seem, do not get any of these. Not worth. Unless you're really trying to rush the game. Then there's setting up getting the stuff for the wishes and all that too. Well, the thing about that is the fact that you will need to go through in-game primos in order to be able to wish more often. So if you're really trying to pull characters, that's your only choice if you're a free player. But personally, I don't think the price for that is bad. It's like roughly about $2 a pull. Most gacha games want you to do 3. Now, where it could be a problem is the top-ups, because of the fact that, first off, you need to literally buy each and every one of these in order to get the full-on bonus, which basically doubles the purchase package. Me, personally, I've gone through them all. I will sit up and say that I have spent quite a bit of money on this game, but I'm not in whale territory just yet. So there's that. but at the same time, I don't aim for 5 stars, I aim for 4 stars actually, and that makes it a lot better because 4 stars can upgrade much quicker than the 5 stars. Good luck getting duplicate 5 stars. I'm amazed I even managed to pull that off once with Klee. But even then, it's like, aim for the 4 stars, guys. Don't stress yourself out over the 5 stars. They look cool, they work pretty well. Some of them are busted as all fucking hell, even at Constellation 0. But at the same time, it's like, 5 stars are over-glorified. I'm saying that right now. Are they very, very good? Yes. Do you need them? No. I'm running a team of 6 4 stars and beating the crap out of content. You can look at previous videos for that one. But still, that's not too bad actually with the pool system. I actually don't mind it. Others might hate it. We all got our own opinions. Some people just don't want to spend money for the life of them. That's understandable. But keep in mind that this game does not run for free, so if nobody's spending, it's going to shut down. So that's the only real defense I have towards it. If you don't like the pool system, that's fine. I get it. Because, honestly, 0.5% rate for 5 stars, or 0.6%, I should say. Less than 1% rate for 5 stars. That's really asking for it. Same time, I played a game where you had a 0.1% rate of the best rarity, and it had no pity. So, anybody saying this is the worst gacha game ever, you can go suck it. Like, no, you should have played Dragon Providence when it was out because no pity, 0.1% rate of LR. That is 6 times worse than Genshin. And not even looking at the fact that there's no pity. At least Genshin throws you a bone every 10 pulls, basically. Because the 4 stars are pretty good. Not to mention, every single pull you get outside of 3 stars is a full-on quality, I have to say. Because everything 4 star and above is worth holding on to. Everything. How many games do that one? Now, also, they got a little achievement system. I've done quite a bit of this, actually. You see I got 116. This, to me, isn't anything too special unless you're really trying to hunt down primos, but, I've done some stuff on there. It's not bad. Like, there's even some stuff for doing co-op. I don't co-op too much, honestly, though. I've done it with some Discord friends, but that's it. But, in fact, they even give you co-op rewards for going into other people's worlds and taking their stuff. But, the thing is, I don't do too much co-op, so I can't really say too much on the co-op aspect, except for the one event, but I'll get to that a little bit later. But these, not too bad. For the life of me, I cannot get this one, though. I cannot get this one. It's weird. But it's fine. But this is just extra stuff to try and do if you really feel like you have nothing else to do. Because let's be for real, let's be honest. Every time somebody says, I have nothing to do, I can still sit up and point out something else. It's like, hey, did you find all the chests yet? Did you find all the Oculus yet? Did you do all your missions? Did you get your reputation maxed out? Did you do all your achievements? Did you fully clear out the abyss? Look at how much stuff I just named. You have something to do. And the biggest kicker is the fact that you still got to get the AR-60, which is the highest. Now, granted, it's going to take a long time. Nothing new about that one. This is a Chinese gacha game. They are much more demanding than other gacha games, which makes this a bad option for somebody to make it their first gacha game. But if you play gacha games before, you'll be used to a lot of this stuff, believe me. It's not as bad as people try to make it. I'm sorry for sounding like a quote-unquote MiHoYo white knight, but let's look at it realistically here. It could be much worse. They could have really just not given us any free crap. Like the Chinese stereotype really is. Because there is a Chinese stereotype where they're really stingy and really like no nonsense, have to follow everything by their ways and all that. That's a huge stereotype, but quite frankly, that's not the case. If you ask me, this game is still pretty generous for what it gives. It could be better, sure, but it definitely could be worse. Speaking of things too, let's go to something that a lot of people are probably curious about. I'm going to start off with this, so the weapons. I've gotten quite a few weapons here. Not a single one is 5-star. Is that really something to quit the game over? Hell no. But just look at how much progress I got on a lot of these. I don't know how I got to 69, but I got all this stuff right here, and I'm not accepting that join request because I'm doing a video here. I am not playing. But I just recently pulled this too. This might actually come in handy a little bit later on. But some of this stuff is pretty good. I mean, just look at the basic skills. Like, see, chance to reset cooldown. All the sacrificial weapons have that. I got that one on Sucrose. Is very, very good. They also like upping energy recharge or elemental mastery. But they get bonus effects based on what it is. There's of course a base attack, but that doesn't matter for a lot of characters unless you're like really trying to do a DPS character. So there's that. This one is actually pretty good because it can sip and land some extra damage, and you can gain a stack very quickly. So there's that. I know some people like using Rust for official, but I took the compound bow. I like the extra attack speed and the physical damage bonus. Because I'm trying to build her both ways, physical and electrical, so she can actually handle more situations. This one I was raising at one point, but I switched it over. This isn't too bad if you really need to make a tank have some extra shielding or whatever. Like, it depends, but all these 4-star weapons are pretty good in their own right. Even this one. This one says increases damage against pyro or electro affected enemies. Instantly works on the slimes. And then it depends on what characters you got. You're given a pyro and an electro character for free. So no matter what, everybody can use this. But then even some of the 3-star weapons aren't too bad either. Like this one, if you can keep your HP up, your crit rates increase. And your crit damage gets increased. That's actually pretty good. Too bad I got better stuff, but that's actually pretty good. And for the love of God, get this for Barbara, because this is made for her. First off, she runs off of HP. That's the main stat and boost. Then on top of that, you're not going to have her out on the field too much unless you're really trying to DPS with her. And that's generally not what she's made for, even though you can do that. What she's made for is to be a healer. She runs off of HP. Get her in, get her heal off, swap her right back out. This will give you a bonus effect of buffing whoever you switch into. And actually, it works on everybody. So even if you switch to another character right after, the buff will still stay in effect for like 10 seconds. But it's still a buff. Like, this is what I mean. A lot of this stuff is very, very good. Even this is pretty good if you can actually be very close and personal and land a lot of hits. Like, I'm not even kidding on that one. If you are very close, you're going to be really boosting the crap out of this. And it ups crit rate. Now, artifacts. This is where the game gets a little bit interesting because, me personally, I've done this with Epic 7, so I'm used to this stuff, but holy crap is artifacts like really taxing and time consuming. I gotta admit, this could have been done better, a lot better, but at the same time, having played Epic 7, I really have like I hate it, but I understand it. Because this is where you get a lot of your power. Like, this really is where you get a lot of your power, because this complements what you already done with both weapons and character levels. Now, there's a lot of different stuff. There's a lot of different RNG. Like, you see, I got this on official just to have it. And quite frankly, it did really up her energy recharge, but it really upped their defense, too, and she doesn't need that. That's what I mean. I get people are annoyed by this. I understand that. Honestly, the only thing I can say is keep trying, because we're kind of stuck with the system. Mihalia would have changed it by now if they were going to do anything. This game's been out long enough for them to do something with it. But we just got to deal, unfortunately. There's many different guides on how to sip and do all this type of stuff too. But me personally, I say just go with whatever fits your playstyle. Like, for instance, I'm focused on Diona actually playing both a healer and support role. Of course I'm giving her the healing bonus, and I'm going to try and get her HP up. If she can get some elemental mastery go with it, that's even better. Now, Sucrose runs completely off of elemental mastery, which is why I'm glad this got it right here, and that's why I got her with this 2-piece set. But, yeah, like, run with whatever works. Damn the tier list, guys. Like, seriously, it is not just a meme. Damn the tier list, because anybody can be raised to be very, very good. even Amber, even Kaya. Now, granted, it will take more work for some than others, but this covers a lot of the work. Why is this here if it's going to be useless on some characters? But no, I will say this, as much as I can hate how RNG the artifact system is, it is still very, very balanced to work towards any character. You just need to have the luck to get the right stuff. Like this, not bad. And then if I was running a 4-piece Petra on Noelle, I would get even something better, but I only got 2-piece for her, unfortunately. But you see what I mean. Geo, she's got like almost 50% Geo bonus right there. But also, something that people neglect is the food system. Be quite honest, I like the food because it's a nice little backup in case something happens. You can't use it in Abyss though, but it's pretty useful. And then I made a lot of revival items too, just in case, because you can start taking a little bit of damage. I'll get to that later. But yeah, it's there. It's there. Plus, this is one of the best food buffs in the game right here. People can try and argue, oh, you can still make the 4-star one, but it's still less than the 5-star. If you can make the better food, go for it. Now, here's where a lot of stuff people really have this is where people have a lot of issues with this one because of the fact that it's like, okay, you need to farm all this stuff. This is another case of you have something to do. Because this, for instance, like a lot of people like Razor, you need to go hunt these down. A lot of people like Kaching, you gotta go hunt these down. Here's for Fischl. Here's for Barbara. And so on and so forth. You need to get a lot of these local specialties, and well, it gives you a little bit more stuff to do, even though it's just another grind. So there's that. And then on top of that, these can drop from the weekly bosses too. I had no idea what I'm going to do with these weapons just yet. As much as people sit up and say, oh, get Crescent Pike, get Crescent Pike. I'm fine with Deathmatch. I am fine with Deathmatch. I'm not kidding on that one. Especially since Deathmatch has the best crit on any weapon. Even 5-stars don't get that much crit. I'm going what works for me. Trust me on that. Now, I don't have anything here because this is where you get the tools for like the Geoculus search and all that. They're not too bad. It's just the fact that you have to keep making them. So the more you're missing, the more expensive it can get. At least item-wise. Now, this is just random stuff. I don't know what this is really about, but quest items, there you go. I still haven't found the third one of these. And then there's these. I had Geoculus. I found all of these. This is just an extra one sitting around. And then I still got these. There's extra stuff. I still got to find 2 more shrines. I've gotten all the keys, though. Again, there's a lot of stuff to do in this game. There really is. Like, it's amazing how much stuff they squeeze into this game, and we only have 2 continents. There's another, what, at least 5? Like, dude, this is going to be a huge amount of stuff to have. This is ambitious at the very least. I gotta give them credit for that one. Will they do it right? We don't know. But all I know is I'm enjoying what they had so far. If you have done the Leeway storyline, you already know what part is my favorite. So, there you go. Now, again, the wishing thing, it's kind of like, I'm not really pulling anymore for the time being because I got what I wanted, but my pull history is like, woof. Like, I just recently got this one. I just recently got Kiki, who's a 5-star. But if I go through this freaking pull list, I've got like at least 64 pages of this stuff. I pulled a lot on this game, I'm not gonna lie. I got like a good 400 something pulls, but I've only got like 7 5-star pulls out of that. And I wasn't even aiming for them. Do I enjoy them? Yeah. But will I make a beeline to raise them? No, because I've already focused on other characters and resources can get kind of limiting. And I don't even know if I pulled on the weapon banner. Have I ever? No, I've never pulled on the weapon banner. Not once. I had pulled on this a little bit because I had like free wishes and stuff, but I've never pulled on weapon banner, go figure. But there's that. There's events too that they do. This event's pretty good. I gotta give them credit for that. This is much, much better than the last event. Last event was a co-op thing where we had to pretty much just, like, kill a lot of enemies as quickly as possible, collect some cubes, and toss them into a glorified oven. It wasn't bad for what it was worth, but it definitely could have been a lot better, especially since co-op has some very... If you're going to find any bugs, they're definitely going to be in co-op, because the co-op is... They need to work on co-op. I will definitely say that. They need to work so much on co-op. They need to fix connection issues, fix any sort of things where it's like, okay, there's characters running in one spot. Like, they need to really work on co-op. But this one, you can do this alone or in co-op. That's a good option to have for that type of stuff. And then on top of that, this event had so much content on there as is, and there's another one coming up pretty soon. But you get like 6 quests, and then there's supposed to be another set of quests coming up soon, so there's probably going to be at least 9. Then I went in here, searched out for some of those glorified rocks. I went in here, managed to do quite a bit of these runs as well. Like, there's that. And then the event shop is generous. They are very, very generous. I've already cleaned out these, because I wanted these EXP books first and foremost. The amount of more you can get is 2.5 million, and you can really rack up these little fragments. I kid you not. I forgot how many these were, but there was like 150 hero wit trades I could do, and I've already gone through them all. I've gone through over half of the Mora ones. I'm not kidding on how easily you can rack stuff up. Plus, these exist too, these fragments, but you don't need them. You can still go kill the bosses for those. You only get 3, and that's kind of like, that's where they kind of slipped up a little bit. Also, why does this exist? Why are you getting 500 more for one freaking stone? Why are you here? Like, who put you here? Why are you here? That is such a waste. The 10,000 ones, amazingly good. The 500 ones, scam. Now, this, I wouldn't worry about any of these, to be quite honest, except for this crown. You really, really need to get this crown. Because this crown, talent level up, and it's limited event rewards only. So, crown, instantly go get it. As soon as this part opens up, chase that crown down like your life depends on it. Because from the last town upgrade, assuming you don't have constellations, you'll need a crown. If you do have constellations, you'll need more than one of these crowns per talent. So yeah, definitely get the crown. But be very careful on who you use it on too, because there's not going to be too many of them by the looks of it. Talents really get a huge boost in the last few levels. Now then, also test runs, I suggest people do that because it'll let you try out characters and see if you want to play as them. I enjoy playing as all 4 of these characters. Problem is, I've only raised her. I want to raise her, and I definitely want to raise him. However, resources, very taxing. Resources are taxing. Now then, let's go to the one that I've been avoiding for a while because I know people are curious about that one. My character roster. Now, granted, I've done all this in like 400 pulls. Keep in mind that pity for a 5-star rate up is 180. I've never hit pity. Like, I've done all this, and you can see I've spread out my resources quite a bit too. They suggest that, oh, don't spread out your resources too much. Like, so many people stress that. Here's the problem though. 1, you have to level your characters. You have to. You get more stats. You get more talent upgrades because they're locked by ascension caps. And biggest thing that people overlook is a level difference thing in this game. There is a level difference formula in this game. Now, if the math is right on some of the stuff that people's added up, out the gate, if you're a level 80 character fighting a level 80 enemy, the damage you take and the damage you deal is both cut in half. Yeah, that already sounds a little bit weird, doesn't it? But here's the problem. If you're lower level than that enemy, you just start taking more damage and deal less, even if they had the same exact stats and you have the same exact stats. So, yeah, levels matter. Levels matter. Just getting a good team to level 80 I can actually do the level 80 domains. I was not able to do that on level 70 because they were killing me. They were killing me. Not to mention, she helped a lot too because it was a domain that had ice enemies and trapped you in some little ice cages. She's very like, even though she can't really do too much damage against ice enemies because she's only got a normal attack, it still doesn't change the fact that she's got some very good resistance towards ice because of her shield. It's ironically stronger towards ice enemies. Go figure. And she still heals with her ultimate, so there's that. But yeah, levels matter. Levels matter a lot. And also, I managed to. I really love Sucrose. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't removed her from my team ever since I got her, unless it's a very specific situation like the wing cubes where she can't do crap. But I really like Sucrose, and the official's been here since the beginning. Like, she's been here since the beginning. I've managed to raise her for electro damage and physical damage. She can handle a lot of different situations. I almost never remove her from the team. I almost never remove her from the team. The only exception is Abyss because of the fact that she cannot be on both teams. Now, I prefer using the 4-star characters over anybody else, so that's why I've been raising them. I'm working on Noelle as well because I really want to buff her up as much as I can, and she can heal, tank, and DPS, all because of this defense stat. She can heal, tank, and DPS, all because of defense. I don't know why there's so much hate towards Geo characters, but let's be for real, let's be honest, they are strong. Why, you think just because they do Crystallize they can't do crap? People are starting to catch on with Ningguang as well, go figure. But even the MC can do so many different elements, and honestly, I understand why some people don't like how the Geo one works, because the ultimate kind of like pushes enemies away, and then there's her skill, or his skill if you pick the male one, where it can easily reset enemies. Here's the thing though, the MC is very, very technical on both elements. You have to play them specific ways to really get the most out of them. And I'm not talking about like stat building and all that. I'm talking about literally positioning them and everything. They're very technical, but the payoff is huge when you get it right. They're not like this character where you can just pick up and go. Like, I will say this out the gate. Sucrose, technical. Diona can be a little bit technical. Fischl is a pick up and go character. Noelle is a slight bit technical. MC, very technical regardless of element. More technical with the Geo one though. This is a pick up and go character. She's very technical, especially since her dodge is crap, but she definitely could lay out some damage. This is a pick up and go character because you just sit up and send out his skills and call it a day. This was a technical character too, but just not as much as some of the others. She will definitely do some damage. And even him, like, okay, granted, me personally, I don't like using Kaya. I don't like using Amber. I don't like using Lisa. They're still good though. I can tell that they're good for what they're worth because this guy can spam his skill quite a bit. And then, from what I've heard from some Chinese players and whatnot too, he gets indestructible if you get duplicates of him. If you manage to get his constellations up, he is very hard to kill. So keep that in mind. Then Amber, very good charge shots. Honestly, the hate on her is kind of unjustified because of the fact that, yeah, she could use some buffs, but at the same time, what she already has works pretty well, if you ask me. Like, people are going to hate on that, probably what I just said, but I don't care. It's not for waifu reasons why I say that, because honestly, her normal attacks are crap. But her charge shots are good. The little bunny right there that she pulled out, use it correctly and it is pretty good. Her ultimate needs aim, guys. You can't just up and use it. Her ultimate needs aim. You position it wrong, you're just going to waste it. Same thing with Lisa. A lot of her cases is positioning and deciding when to charge attack, when not to, but she doesn't get as much hate as the other two. But even then, there's other characters too. Like, I know she's good. I really do. But I burnt all my materials on her. And materials can get pretty fucking costly. Same reason why I'm not using her, because I know how good she is. I would love to use this guy, but that would mean just ditching all my water materials to this guy. Like, I'm sorry, I need to prepare for level 90 so I can finish off those characters before I get to these next ones. And then Beto, I know how good she is. She's got some serious counter mechanics, which technically means that she's a technical character too. But she can definitely lay on some damage. So can Razor. So can Xingqiu. I don't have Bennett and I don't have Chongyun, but I know they're pretty good too. And I might be missing a few characters too. I know there's a few 5-stars I didn't get, like Jean. But quite frankly, this really is a game you could pick up anybody and use them. I'm not kidding. Anything that is 4-star or above is usable. Even characters. But see, here's the reason why I'm having trouble with materials. The simple fact that this gets costly. Very, very costly. I don't even know how much more this is going to take either. Plus, I still got to get AR-50, which is like a long time away because it's slow at this point. But, yeah, I need a lot of materials. I'm almost done with this one because I managed to get like quite a few of these. But, easy to get. Just kill some bosses. This one, if you're not lucky on some of the higher drops, like the 4-star drops and all that, this could take a long time. Believe me when I say that. It's a little RNG dependent. Also, I can show this with official too. Talents get, oh my god, talents. Like, I did manage to get this. I still need to get this. I still need to get these. But look how costly this is. And then, these are weekly boss drops. Now, it says level 9 now. It's not actually level 9. It's level 6 requirements to go to level 7. Because constellations bump you up by 3 levels, but it also adds another 2 to the cap on top of it. So really your cap goes from 10 to 15. At least when you're able to hit level 90. That said, you will start needing crowns on the last one regardless. If you got constellations, you'll need more than 1 crown for a specific talent. So it will get costly, and that's on top of the weekly boss match. I lucked out with this one, but oh my god, it is such RNG. But this is the main reason why anybody ascends anyways, because of stuff like this. These little talents. They're not bad. They definitely help. And then I upped her normal attack too, but oh boy. Now, the other thing I gotta mention too, definitely has to be constellations, because I've gotten constellations on quite a few characters. 3 of them have constellation 6. They're done. I don't even need the official from this event because she's been done before the event even came out. Constellations really spike up stuff because, let's see here, official gets extra normal attack damage as long as it's not electrical. This one, when she uses Knight Rider, it deals extra damage. This one, whenever she uses her ultimate, she gets extra damage, and on top of that, gets her HP back. When this one's out, Oz will stay out longer, and his attack rate is the same as your character's. Whenever your character attacks, he'll start attacking too. So yeah, that can really start racking up quite a bit of damage right there. Then on top of that, every 3rd and 5th one, it just ups the constellation. I mean, it's a constellation bust for the talents. So it says maximum upgrade level is 15 now. Also increases the level by 3. So you get an instant boost. You get a maximum cap increase. Not bad. But talents, I've gotten duplicates of almost every character that's on my roster. Like, she's got 4. She's got 3. She's got 2. She's max. She's max. She's max. MC, you can do talents for free. You don't do any duplicates or whatever. Just go out, grind it. I got all the wind ones. I just don't have all the earth ones yet because I gotta go grind those geo medals. But I don't have a dupe of a lot of these 5-star characters because I wasn't lucky enough to pull them more than once. Klee's the only exception. And this definitely helped out a lot in her case. But there's Venti. I've gotten quite a bit of Ningguang. Like, I need one more of this to really, give her Jade Screen a lot of boost. But this is where it'll really just make it, oh my goodness. I could pull for her more, but I don't want to. I didn't get duplicates of the main squad. I should call them the starter pack, if you want to be honest, because that's what they are. But even the starter pack can be pretty good. I mean, some of this stuff is just like, wow. Like, she puts 3 stacks of her debuff on an enemy. and that can do quite a bit. And then look what Amber gets on her first one. Her charge shot goes into a double shot. Venti does the same with his, except for it's a triple shot, but Amber gets a double shot off of her first one. There you go. I didn't get a dupe of her. Heck, I just fooled her. Didn't get a dupe. Didn't get a dupe. I got like 3 dupes of her. Didn't get a dupe of him. I got like 3 dupes of him. And honestly, there's a lot of characters I really could be using, but again, materials. They are very costly. They are very taxing. Focus on 4 main characters, which in my case is going to be Sucrose, Zangling, Diona, and Fischl at this point. After they're done, move on to others. I've already done Barbara before I got Diona. That's why I was able to focus so much on Diona for a split second. And now Noelle's my next target. All the ones that I've starred are the ones that I'm mainly focusing on. Anybody else, I'm not going to give a crap until the first 6 are done. I'm dead serious, because now that I've stopped focusing on all these other characters, and this was just to get a little bit of Abyss leeway too. Now that I stopped focusing on all those characters, resources are not as taxing, but they still are, because you still need a lot. So that's all the more reason to just focus on a little bit. I can handle running 6 characters though. I can handle upgrading 6 characters. I've paced it out in a specific way. And now at this point, Noelle's the only one that really needs upgrades until like what? AR 50? And that's 7 AR away. So, yeah. But definitely upgrade your characters because you get base stats from that. You get base stats from that because, again, look at how much she gets from all this. Like, okay, more base HP, more base defense, more base attack, animo damage really gets boosted. Really gets boosted. Like, she gets almost double animo damage just from an ascension. And that's her main thing. Ascensions matter, guys. Also, I gotta point out this one last thing, too. Elemental Mastery. This is a big thing that people need to really focus on, too, because of the fact that you're doing so many elemental reactions, and on top of that, you kind of need them in some cases. Because some enemies are hard to deal with, and if you don't pull off elemental reactions like the Ruin Guards and all that, they are very, very resistant to a lot of stuff unless you pull off a Superconduct, and then they'll start really being easier to deal with. Then some are weak against things like those rock shields or anything geo-based is really weak to overloaded, so hey, there you go. Electric Charge ups your AoE. Freeze/Shatter can help up some damage output too. Swirl is pretty good. Sometimes you need Crystallize in order to be able to take through some stuff and just not flinch. Because keep in mind, Crystallize does not let you flinch. You're upping your damage output that way, technically. You won't have to worry about dodging, you just sit there and well on them. And the biggest one that people like is Vaporize and Melt, because those are really high damage dealing ones. Elemental Mastery boosts all of that. You have to focus on that one. Like, especially the animal characters. The animal characters run off of EM. They all run off of EM. Now, also you may be noticing that there's green and then there's white stats. Well, here's a funny thing. The white stats are your base stats. The green ones are what you get from artifacts. Or in some cases, weapons. Now, only things that up the base stats seem to be the initial weapon. Like, you'll have a weapon that gives like 401 base attack, and then your character also gives like a good 100 or so. That's where that comes in. However, something like 40% attack would go into the green numbers. And anything from your artifacts goes into green numbers, period, point blank. So, you do need to up your base stats. And hey, guess what? Levels do that. Levels do that. Now, I didn't get too good on some of the other stuff too, which is why Fischl's crit rate is only 13%, but she does do quite a bit of noticeable crits off of that, so there's that. Plus, she's got some resistances for some weird reason. I don't know why. I don't know where that came from. Physical damage bonus is shot through the roof, though, because of the fact that her weapon and one of her artifacts is spiking it. I love that. Now, other characters too, they got some stuff as well. Like, if I go into her details, look, she's got cryo damage boost. And then on top of that, she's got a healing boost. But I mainly wanted to get her some energy recharge too, if I could. But that's the thing. It's like depending on the character setups and builds, it depends. Like Barbara, heal boost and HP is all you need for her. Seriously. If you're trying to make her DPS, then focus into her attack. Because I've seen her do some like serious DPS damage with her charge hits. The healer can kill crap. Enough said. But her whole kit is basically healing. Her whole kit is basically healing. Like, still focus on what your playstyle is, but you can easily tell who does what best. Sucrose, support. Zhang Ling can be support or DPS. She's been good on both. I just haven't really raised her to be a DPS, so I tried to run her support. Diona, best with support, but she could still be a DPS too. Fischl, again, best with support, but she excels at DPS. Barbara, definitely healing. Definitely healing. She can't even really be too much support unless you get like certain stuff in her kit. But it is nice to have her auto revive if you max out your constellations on her. Noelle can play so many roles. Healer, DPS, support. Like, she could be a Claymore user to break down shields. Like, she could do so much. Noelle is underrated. MC. Honestly, this is one thing I gotta show about the MC. Let's see here. Quicker cooldown on her Starfell Sword, that's fine. But this is tied into some of her talents and constellations, so there's that. This final hit a normal attack and start doing geo damage, so she gets that on normal swings now. Now, I haven't tried to upgrade any of the talents because MC is expensive talent-wise because each talent will only count to each element, so if you're going to do that, you might want to just up the talents of an element you want to focus on. But Constellation's where it kicks in because let's see here. Wake up the Earth crit rate and increase resistance against getting interrupted. Hey, guess what? That was her ultimate. Something that people said sucked. Then let's see, Starfell Sword. When it's destroyed, it explodes and deals extra geo damage. Wake of the Earth. Extra energy for everybody that got hit. Wicked Earth, 5 seconds longer. Starfell Sword, 10 seconds longer. So, yeah, very technical. Again, cannot stress that enough. However, people simp over characters like this one, like Kaching, where she's got all this stuff, but hey, guess what? Good luck getting duplicates. Good luck getting duplicates. Also, I've used her personally. I do like her. And honestly, she can be very, very strong. You still have to build her that way because let's be for real and let's be honest. Kaching, nowhere near official with how I got these two built. Nowhere near each other. Fischl is doing 3 times the damage Kaching is right now because of the fact I focus on Fischl more. So who am I going to use, obviously? But Kaching has carried a little bit of Abyss. I managed to get through that one too. But the last thing I have to say too is do not rush Abyss. Do not rush Abyss. It is in-game level content. Especially considering the fact that, hey, guess what? You can get extra Primo Gems from when floors 9 and above reset. However, enemies at that point are very high level. I'm having trouble with floor 7 right now. Do you think I really care about floor 9? And then on top of that too is the simple fact that enemies will start getting exceedingly strong. If you do not like 4-7, you will not like 4-12 because those guys are back for 4-12 and they're level 100. You can never go past level 90. Which already means that 4-12 enemies are higher level than what you can ever be. At least for the time being. I don't know if they'll have to cap, but right now, AR-50 is the highest where we need to be in order to hit level 90 stuff in the max talents. So, guess what? You're going to be under level regardless. Do not rush Abyss. Do not. You get like 150 Primo Gems per floor, and that's if you get the stars. But if you're not strong enough, you're not even getting the stars anyway. So, again, do not rush Abyss. That's all I got to say. Now, last thing I got to mention too is the fact that there's a little feedback thing down here that you can sip and get with these guys. I don't really do anything with it. I really don't. I'm pretty sure people have already blasted with so much stuff on their Discord and all that too, but quite frankly, there would be a bit of feedback I can give them. Like, honestly, the resin system, I, like I said in the previous video, I have no problems with the resin system. I really don't. That's just me though. But then they go ahead and up the cap. So I guess you can hold on to more resin. That's fine. Personally, if anything, I would want more free refills because of the fact that the refill speed would still be a problem even later down the line. Because let's face it, like, even if you turn it to, like, say, 4 minutes per one resin, then here's the thing. Even if you do that, when the cap gets high enough, you still have the same issues before when it was 8 minutes per resin. So, yeah, there's that. Excuse me. So, that's what I have to say with that one, because I had that same issue with a few other games too. Like, okay, so I was like rank 120 or 130 or something, and it was taking 36 hours for the resin to come back. Well, I say resin because it is like, I'm comparing it to this system, but that's what it would pretty much be like. Imagine having to wait 36 hours for resin to come back fully. Yeah, enjoy. I would rather take the free refills. I would rather take the free refills. If you're going to suggest any resin changes, free refills. And then on top of that too, you can't really say that whales can sit up and just do whatever they want on this one too, because even they're gated by stuff too. I have to say that at the defense of the whales, because excuse me, I've been talking too long. But at the defense of the whales, you can only add resin back through primo gems 5 times a day. They can't infinitely do that. Now, that does make it possible for them to have at least 3 times the progress speed, I would say. But even then, they're still gated and they're still limited. Not to mention, there's really no point in rushing anything on this game. There really isn't, because no ranking system, no competitive content at all. And then on top of that too, is like, you're just flexing, really. You're just flexing. This is a single player game for the most part. You can co-op if you want, but majority of the content can be done alone. And then on top of that, you are alone in some cases, like Abyss. But you're just flexing. It's like, what is that really there for? Once you hit AR 50, you're pretty much just not limited by anything except for respawn timers. That's it. Like, you're literally not limited by anything but respawn timers once you hit AR 50. So, you can eventually ascend all you want. You can eventually level all you want. You'll hit the true caps for everything, but AR 50, that's the only real target you would have to hit, so your characters can get as strong as possible. That's the only real objective. After that, do whatever the fuck you want. But anyways, that's all for that. Only last thing I have to say too is to not rush your quests too quickly too, because I'm at a quest right now. I'd still get these, which I'm going to do after I'm done with the video. These aren't too bad, but they're only like once a day. It will start giving you some primos though, so there's some free stuff for that too. But if I go into the reputation system, I still get quests to find in both Mondstadt, because I can't get that one quest, and I still got to find the stuff for Liyue. And I didn't explore the world all the way through, because I can go to the map right now, and let's see here. Scroll out, scroll out, scroll out. Let's see here. 74, 82, 88, 88, 77, 72, 65, 72, 61. There's a lot of stuff to explore, guys. And as far as I can tell, you have to get all the treasure chests, you have to get all the viewpoints, you have to get all the Oculus, you have to get all of the quests. Like, you have to do all of that to really get 100%. And when your AR goes up, the percent will probably go back down a little bit too, because hey, guess what? Supposedly, you'll find more treasure chests at higher AR, because some more will suddenly spring into the ether. And then on top of that too, I marked that there because there's something special about that part as well. Mark stuff on your map if you plan on coming back to it. But also, like, as I said, I could do Abyss. I could probably get past 4-7 if I sat and redirected my own teams, but I am struggling against it with Kaching. She's not helping. So I'm gonna have to ditch Kaching and get somebody else to start doing damage. But the thing is, it's like, do what works best for you. That's all I gotta say. That is the biggest thing with this. Do what works best for you. However, if you are going to rush things, be prepared for the game to resist that, because it is not made to be rushed. But anyways, that's all for this. This video is going on for almost an hour, and I honestly had to say all that type of stuff. I wasn't really intending this to be a guide. I really wasn't intending this to be like a rant video or whatever. I'm giving my take on things. So I pointed out good, I pointed out bad. I didn't hold back on anything because let's be for real and let's be honest, what's the point of holding back? Hopefully MiHoYo even sees this video so they actually get some ideas on like, okay, we should change this or we should do that because they need to do that. If you want to keep your player base, you need to listen to them. But at the same time, people don't need to randomly bitch about stuff too, because there's some things that don't make sense. Like, you can hate the resin system, but you can't say you have nothing to do because you're out of resin. There's so much other stuff to do. I I need you to have 100% on all your stuff, on achievements, on the map, on characters being maxed out as far as they can reach. You need to be fully done with all that stuff before you can sit up and say I have nothing to do because I have no resin. And also, people really need to stop looking at tier lists because let's be for real, let's be honest. Some characters are indeed better than others overall, but there's some things that some characters are definitely much better at than like. Why even have Barbara as on a DPS tier list? Why? She's not made to be a DPS. She's made to be a healer. That's just fucking stupid. But anyways, stop listening to tier lists. Just pick a character you like and stick with them because when you start going through multiple characters, then your resources are going to take a major hit. Especially your Mora because it's going to be expensive. I will say this out the gate right now too. If you are investing in the MC, pick one element. Talents for them are going to be so expensive because people are already having a problem with some talent upgrades costing like 700,000 Mora. You gotta do that 3 times per character, and guess what? The MC will eventually get all the elements. So you're already looking at what? Over 4 million more just for the 2 elements is right there? Focus on one element. Now, last thing I gotta say too is the fact that this game still is fairly new, so expect things to change later down the line. It's not any surprise on that one because this is one of those type of games where they'll add content as it goes along. So you gotta be kind of patient with this game. At some extent, you have to be patient. However, I am not saying not to criticize this game. I'm not saying not to blast them. I'm just saying get your facts straight before you do. In a lot of cases, this is people's first gacha game. Now, if this is your first gacha game, well, all I can say is welcome to gacha games in general. But this was definitely the wrong one to pick as your first gacha game because this is a lot more restrictive as a gacha game compared to other gacha games. Because that's just how Chinese gacha games are, from what I found out. Like, Honkai Impact was just as restrictive, if not more so. And I don't fucking like Honkai Impact, but I will give them credit on where credit is due. They've lasted so long, so apparently they were doing something right. But seriously, this is not the right gacha game to pick for your first one, but I'm not saying don't play it because you should have the experience anyways. Experience every single gacha game before you decide what to do, especially if you want to spend. Because as good as some deals are on this, if you're not going to invest in this game, why throw money at it? So I will say that out the gate. At the same time, don't act like they don't deserve any money either, because they kind of do. They kind of do. This game did do a lot of good things. It did some stuff right. Didn't do everything right, but it did some stuff very well, and it did deserve my money. I'm pretty sure it feels like the same way as others. Just don't fucking be like a stupid ass whale that wants to throw like thousands of bucks over some character. You don't need to. Even if you're trying to go for talents and constellations and all sorts of stuff, let the game give that to you naturally. Do not waste your money. Like, have some sort of self-control at least. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, like I said, this is going on for almost an hour. That's my thoughts on this whole thing. I'm still sticking with this game. I play this more than other stuff because I still play other gacha games. People that know my channel, I played Kami Hime Project, I played Magic Kami, I played Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, I played Epic 7, I played Osawari Island, I played Dragon Providence, War of Venus. I do so many gacha games and have done so many gacha games. This is nothing new to me. But anyways, like I said, that's it. That's all my thoughts on this. I'm going to end the video here. More of this will come soon because there's another part of the event. I plan on doing a video with that one. But anyways, that's all for now, guys. Take care.